Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And how about we again start with some Gunpla news. But before you get too excited, it was all premium Bandai stuff this week. Like the real great Gundam Astray Red Dragon, a very pointy remold of the original Astray Red frame that now comes with a bunch of new parts, like a new and much sharper looking head, 3 collet witches, a flight unit, connector parts to hook up the collet witches to the flight unit, and perhaps most importantly, 2 small action bases that are meant to help with holding the collet witches when in some action poses. Because honestly, when I saw those promotional images of the Astray Red Dragon holding those collet witches, I immediately got worried about the arms being able to support them. The red frame is a relatively old real grade, so it can definitely use the extra support. And what's interesting about those action bases is that rather than connecting to the collet witches themselves, they connect to the shield connectors on the arms. And those collet witches also have some cool tricks up their sleeve. Not only can they switch between gun and sword mode, but they can now also be combined into an ambidextrous halberd, and the long blades and short blades can each be combined into a real great exclusive, like ninja throwing star-esque weapon. Or if you prefer, you can also build the regular red frame with this set as well. And all of this can be yours in February for 4,950 yen, 32 US. Next up in March then, we have the Master Grade Cluster Gundam Mission Pack X. This goes for 3,850 yen, 25 US, which then should already tell you that the Cluster Gundam itself is not included with this set. What we do get though is a G-Fighter-esque booster unit that comes with powerful built-in thrusters and extra fuel tanks, and 2 Xenovia composite weapon units. These are mounted on the lower arms and have both a shield generator and a double beam cannon, so quite the powerful upgrade for the Cluster Gundam. And last but not least, the one we already knew about, the Master Grade Gundam Barbs Loops expansion part set, which goes for 2,970 yen, 19 US. We already knew about most of the accessories included with this set, but now we finally have the full official list. There's 2 arm-mounted rocket launchers, the Valkyria Buster Sword, extra hands to hold on to the Valkyria Buster Sword, an extra stand for the Valkyria Buster Sword, a damaged V-fin, a damaged shoulder part, eye glare effect parts, an effect part for the left shoulder, and even a set of water slide decals, all of which can be yours in February. Next up then, we got the interim results for the Global Gundam Poll 2025. But even though they did tell us which machines are in the top 20, they didn't give us their exact rankings. So, in no particular order, the top 20 consists of the G Self, the Zeta, the Turn-A, the Strike Freedom, the Barbs Loops Rex, the RX-782, the Calibarn, the Strike Rouge, the Mighty Strike Freedom, the Full Armor Unicorn Gundam Destroy Mode, the Wing Zero, the Destiny, the God Gundam, the Red Gundam, the Ariel, the Freedom, the F91, the New, the Mark II AU Colors, and the Destiny Gundam Spec 2. And what makes this poll very interesting is that every variant is considered as its own individual entry, which is why we have 3 Freedoms that are very much the same, and 2 Destiny Gundams that are like virtually the same. Like, how funny would it be if the top 3 was just like the Mighty Strike Freedom, the Strike Freedom, and the Vanilla Freedom, then followed by like the Destiny Gundam and the Destiny Gundam Spec 2. At the same time though, this did also make it more difficult for machines to get into the top 20 if they had a lot of variants, because like if you're a fan of the Zeta Gundam, you just vote for the Zeta Gundam. But if you're a fan of the Mark II, you can choose between the AU colors and the Titans colors. Or if you're a fan of the Barbs, then you have 3 different configurations to choose from. Or if you're a fan of the Unicorn, then you have different configurations, different colors, and even a transformation that is counted as a separate unit. So that makes for a whopping 8 different versions of the Unicorn/Banshee that you could vote for. And yet, one of each of the 3 units that I just mentioned did make it into the top 20. Completely absent from the current top 20 then are any of the Hathaway or 00 Gundams, while the Red Gundam that everyone seemed to hate did make it into the top, so that was definitely a funny observation. But which Gundam do you think is currently in the lead? Normally, I would say one of the Freedom Gundams because of just how ridiculously popular Gundam Seed is, but they're like kind of having a 3-way battle amongst themselves. Like, if the votes were combined, the Freedom Gundam or Freedom Gundam type mobile suits would definitely be number 1, but now it might just be the new Gundam. It's always been a popular machine, and I'm pretty sure people are even more hyped up for it with the upcoming Perfect Grade Unleashed. And you know what? Also, let me know which Gundam you think is in last place. My first thought was the EX Gundam from Requiem for Vengeance, but I think it might still be a little bit too recent for it to have been completely forgotten. So maybe it's like the Rigazi from Silver Phantom, which, by the way, is included as a Gundam here. And I'm not saying this because I think Silver Phantom is bad or anything. I haven't seen the thing yet, or played the thing yet, depending on how you want to call it. It's just that it's a very niche thing, being a VR movie, so I don't think a lot of people saw this, like, relatively speaking, so a lot of people probably just don't really care about this machine. And talking about Silver Phantom, this week it was released for PlayStation VR 2, so who knows, maybe more people will now get to experience it. Staying with the movie news, Urdr Hunt just got its 4th week in Japanese cinemas, giving moviegoers this new mini illustration card, as well as the previously available short manga and mecha visual illustration card. And on top of that, it was just announced that the movie will be staying in cinemas a little bit longer. So despite the middling reviews that it got, it seems to be performing adequately. Also, something that I missed earlier is that it is being released in several Asian countries, so maybe we might just see this getting released in some Western countries as well. And from Hathaway's Flash, the piano solo version of Earth has become available on YouTube, so I will have that linked down below. From Gundam Wing then, we got some interesting merchandise, starting with this premium Bandai Limited Chibi Nui mini bear decoration. It's based on the teddy bear that Hiro tried giving to Relina, and it's meant to be used with the separately sold Chibi Nui Hiro. Although you can of course use it with other Chibi Nui plushies as well, and probably also even like similarly sized other plushies and figures. And this adorable little poncho can be yours in April for 1,540 yen, 10 US. The next things then aren't Premium Bandai Limited, but you do get a bonus if you buy the box set from Premium Bandai. For 990 yen a pop, 6 US, you can get the Gundam Wing Mochi Mochi mascots. You can get Hiro, Duo, Troa, Catra, Wufei, Relina, Miliardo, and Trace. And then the Premium Bandai bonus is Hiro in the Sank Kingdom uniform. Fancy. But wherever you get them from, they'll be yours in April. Meanwhile, on the gaming front then, the biggest news definitely came from Gundam Battle Operation 2 this week, because another non-UC mobile suit has joined the fray. On both PlayStation and Steam, the Destiny Gundam has become available. Over at UC Engage then, the UR Judo Ashita and his UR Double Zeta Gundam Hyper Giga Cannon have become available, as well as a new clan battle event and part 2 of the 2nd anniversary celebrations. And yes, you heard that correctly. It was the Double Zeta Gundam with Hyper Giga Cannon that became available. This is a UC Engage exclusive version of the Double Zeta Gundam with a massive cannon and what I'm assuming are extra thrusters to compensate for that added bulk of the cannon. So basically they just made a different, less good looking version of the full armored Double Zeta Gundam's Hyper Mega Cannon. And finally for G Generation Eternal, Master League Season 6 has gone live and they announced that certain inactive accounts will be deleted. But before you get too worried, it seems like they're mainly targeting like junk accounts left over from rerolling. The requirements for deletion are that your account was created 6 or more months ago and that the account only has 1 day of playtime. So I'm assuming they mean that the account was logged in only 1 day. So yeah, you should be fine if you're actually like somewhat playing the game even. In other news then, the cover art for the Symphonic Suite Zeta Gundam CD has been released, featuring Camille, and from November 21st until December the 1st, the Oyari Ashito 30th anniversary exhibition will be held in Ginza. And this exhibition will also include Gundam works, as you can see in one of the preview images. As for the things you could get this week then, first up on the 21st, you could go for the 8th lineup of G-Frame Full Armor. One set will cost you 748 yen, 5 US, and you'll need to buy at least 2 sets per mobile suit to get the full figure. For the G-Quux and the Zaku High Mobility Type R1A Black Tri-Source Custom, this is an armor set consisting of the base non-articulated figure, and then a weapon set consisting of an articulated inner frame, weapons, and other accessories. For the G-Quux, this is a beam rifle, 2 inactive beam sabers, 1 active beam saber, a shield, and the Tominosuke Heat Hawk. And for the Zaku, this is a commander antenna, giant bazooka, regular Zaku bazooka, Zaku machine gun, spare magazine for the Zaku machine gun, Heat Hawk, and numbered knee pads. So you can designate your Zaku as either Ortega's, Masha's, or Gaia's unit. For the Strike Freedom then, you're gonna need 3 sets. An armor set with that basic unarticulated figure, minus the wings, the option part set that comes with the wings, dragoons and extra hands, and then the weapon set with a movable frame, 2 beam rifles, and stored railguns for on the back skirt. So this does make for a relatively expensive G-Frame Full Armor figure. From the 24th then, the MS Mechanical Bust DX Unicorn Gundam has once again become available in Gachapon machines across Japan. The DX means that it is more impressive than regular Gachapons, but it also means that it is slightly more expensive than regular Gachapons. For 800 yen a spin, 5 US, you can get the Unicorn Mode armor, the Destroy Mode armor with Red Psycho frame, or the inner frame, which comes with 2 light-up units. 1 in the head and 1 in the chest. So this does also mean that you will need at least 2 sets for a full figure. For this week's reading material then, there was the January issue of Hobby Japan, featuring some very impressive builds, the January issue of Model Graphics, whose main feature is about pad labor, the January issue of Shonen Sunday Special, in which Gundam Aggressor is being serialized, and the January issue of Gundam Ace, in which a bunch of Gundam series are being serialized. And in this issue, they're celebrating the 5th anniversary of Around 30 Office Lady Haman-sama. So included with the magazine is also a mini Haman sticker and a Gundam card game Haman promotional card. And in addition to the magazines, we also got some manga releases. Gundam Narrative Volume 16 and 17, wrapping up the series. The Red Giant 3rd MS Team, Volume 5, also wrapping up that series. Moon Gundam Volume 15, Victory Gundam Gaiden Letters from Odello Volume 2, Loner Nanai-san Volume 1, and then also Volume 1 and 2 of Gundam Climax UC New Edition, but they don't actually specify if this new edition is going to come with some new content as well. For the apparel news then, Strict G kicked things off with a new Gundam Seed collection that will fit perfectly with their previously released Atheron and Kigali MA1 jackets. For 4,730 yen, 30 US, there's a blue t-shirt with the Terminal logo, a dark gray one with the ORP logo, and a burgundy one with Kigali's personal emblem. For another 4,730 yen then, 30 US, there's a black long sleeve t-shirt with the Infinite Justice Type 2, Zagok Freedom version or Strike Rouge, and for 1,980 yen, 13 US, you can get a set of dog tags featuring either Kigali's or Atheron's information. And all of these will become available at physical Strict G stores on December 6th. which is also when these Universal Century down jackets will become available, made in collaboration with Nishikawa. For 35,200 yen, 225 US, you can get one styled after the Hyakushiki, Amuro Ray from Shore's Counterattack, or Mafty. And what kinda like sets these jackets apart from other jackets is that they're made with upcycled down. 1 week later then, you can go for this Iron-Blooded Orphans 10th Anniversary Skajan, also known as a souvenir jacket. It goes for 37,400 yen, 239 US, and can be worn both normally, showing the barbs on the back, or inside out, showing the Tekadon logo on the back. And finally releasing on December 20th is the Haro Winter Collection, featuring an adorable Haro with a beanie and scarf on a variety of items. You can get him on an acrylic keychain for 990 yen, 6 US, an embroidered pouch for 4,400 yen, 28 US, an embroidered handbag for 3,850 yen, 25 US, an embroidered t-shirt for 5,170 yen, 33 US, an embroidered hoodie for 9,900 yen, 63 US, and an embroidered MA1 jacket for 19,800 yen, 127 embroidered US. Over at Bankore then, for once, they did not start with a set of acrylic stands. Instead, for 8,800 yen, 56 US, you can get a set of Machu's underwear. So you see, dear viewer, the shot of Machu showing her underwear was indeed very necessary for merchandising. And it can be yours in May. Or for also 8,800 yen, you can get a jacket inspired by either the one Machu was wearing in the ending or the one Nyan was wearing. But I would say that it's a little bit more than just inspired. Like, as far as I can tell, it's as close a replica as you can get. And they can be yours in March. And a few days later then, you could order even more G-Quux apparel with the G-Quux Ending Scene series. It features various screenshots from the ending on a hoodie for 7,920 yen, 51 US, a t-shirt for 4,400 yen, 28 US, or a tote bag for 3,850 yen, 25 US. All of which can be yours in February. Next up in January, these Hathaway's Flash acrylic stands will be coming your way. You can get Hathaway himself, Lane, Gauman, and Emeralda as either a big acrylic stand for 2,750 yen, 18 US, or as a standard acrylic stand for 1,320 yen, 8 US. And then finally, there were some G-Quux acrylic dialogue stands. They go for 2,200 yen a pop, 14 US, and feature Xavier Olivetti and everyone's favorite Shiko Sugai. That expression is definitely gonna sell this stand. And that has been all for this week's Gundam News. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam News.